Hey everybody, this is Anne. Many times beginners approach decorating their pots like they're two-dimensional paintings. Sometimes it's difficult to remember that because a piece is three-dimensional, you need to consider not only the main body, but the whole thing. To help inspire you to see your piece in a new way, in this video, I'll turn my piece upside down and decorate the bottom. It'll give your pottery a whole new focus and force you to reconsider the rest of the design. I thought I'd demonstrate 3 different designs, but on bowls with the same profiles. I threw the bowls and let them dry to leather hard. I trimmed them all the same. I centered them on the wheel, then starting from that squared off foot, I began whittling that down at an angle, decreasing the size of the foot but trying to line up the angles between the foot and the wall. I continued slowly removing the thin layers all the way down the side until the walls were flush. I sponged the clay a bit to help consolidate the main body with the foot. I then used the corner of my triangle carver to carve the sharp angle for the outer edge of the foot. I then carved away that bottom sharp edge so it lined up with the wall. I used that same tool to define the inner edge of the foot. That'll be my stopping point when I carve away the clay from that inner area. Once that is established, I can begin to carve down from the center. I like to work from the center out, in order to help with the stability as the tool puts the pressure on the clay as it carves. When I threw the bowl, I left almost a ½ inch of clay in the bottom because I needed a little extra for carving out my decorations. I softened the edges of the foot with wet fingers, rounding them off. So I started with very normal trimming of the bowls, but then I added one more element. I trimmed a band right under the foot ring. I decided how wide I wanted the band, then began to carve a line to delineate it along the body, softening the edges as I went. Here's the profile that I'm after that'll be on all the bowls. For the projects, I'll be using this trimming spinner, which has division lines around the circumference for helping you mark your pots. I'll do a simple line design on this first bowl. I place the trimming spinner on the center of the foot. The green lines around the spinner divide the circle into eighths, so I'm marking these with lines on the foot of my piece. The trimming spinner only goes up to eighths, but I need to mark 16ths, so I'm eyeballing it and just making dots in between those first 8 marks. Now let's decorate that outer band first. I'm moving all of the marked eighth lines down along the top border under the foot ring. Again, I'm marking those same marks around the bottom border part. Using a pencil, I'm marking a line straight around the middle. Now I'll mark all those 16th dots along the pencil line. Starting at one of the top line marks, I connected it to the center pencil division line at the mark just to the left of it. I make a sideways V by connecting that mark to the bottom line back to the right. I moved over and continued the same pattern of connecting lines in this fashion all the way around the bowl. When the first 8 were done, I marked more dots between the arrows and made another set of arrows. Using a fine line carver, I carved each of the pencil lines. I softened the sharp edges with a damp sponge as the bowl turned. You can clean up the edges even more once the bowl is bone dry. Let's decorate the interior of the foot ring. Using a pencil, I marked a small circle in the center wrapped with a bit larger circle. Halfway between those circles and the foot ring, I drew another ring. Using my paddle tool, I gently carved out the two center rings. I then carved the larger pencil ring. I carried those eighth marks from the foot ring into the center along the foot ring and back to the last pencil ring that I just carved. I connected the marks catty-corner from each other so they look like this and draw your eye around the center. I moved the dots up to the very center ring and connected the dots so they form V-shapes like the arrows around the outer foot ring. Again, using my fine line trimmer, I trimmed away each of the marks. I softened the hard lines with a damp sponge, and I'll do the rest of the cleanup when the bowl is bone dry. Here's a better view of the design. Your eye really moves and swirls to the center of the foot with those arrows. Here's one I created earlier where I took the design a step further and carved the arrows in the opposite direction around the body of the bowl. I bisque fired the bowl to cone 04. I glazed it with an Amico Celadon glaze and fired it to cone 5 with an 8-minute hold for this cute little bowl. The lines on the body of the bowl will invite someone to pick up the bowl, and then when they do, they'll see the surprise bottom. Here's another bowl. This time I'll do a braid design. I found the center and placed my trimming spinner over the top of it. Again, I divided the foot ring into eighths and then 16ths. I drew a braided pattern around the outer border and carved it with a fine line carver. I softened all the hard edges with a damp sponge and cleaned up and rounded the edges even more as it began to dry. Now let's do the center ring. I drew 3 pencil lines dividing the foot from the foot ring to the center. Using my paddle tool, I pushed the petal-shaped edge down into the clay to impress its shape along one of the 8th marks on the foot ring. I continued this pattern at every 8th mark. In between each of those marks and working along the next pencil line up, I repeated this process to impress the petal shape into the clay. Here it is, a nice little flowery surprise between the braided border. Here's one I finished earlier, where I continued the symmetrical line carving on the body of the bowl. And here it is, all finished. Again, I glazed the bowl with a different color of Amico Celadon for this vibrant look. For the third design, I'm calling it the fanned bottom. Again, I marked the foot ring into eighths. I staggered the dots along the top and the bottom of the foot ring border area. I connected all the dots in a zigzag pattern. I then eyeballed the bottom space into thirds and connected the top dot to each of the dots along the bottom. I carved through each of the pencil lines. I then carved along the bottom between each line to connect them, making sure to curve the lines a bit to round off and cap each space separately. I used a damp sponge to soften the hard edges and then cleaned up the jags left from the carving later when the clay was more dry. For the foot ring center, I marked the center point. I marked a line in the center between the foot ring line and that center ring. I marked each eighth along the inner foot ring. I marked the 16th dots along the middle line. I connected the top 16th lines to each of the closest eighth marks along the foot ring. Again, I eyeballed the space between each dot to divide it into thirds and connected each of those dots directly to the dot above to create the same fan pattern. I then carved out each line. You can use the paddle blade of the fine line trimmer if you have a wide enough foot. I softened all the hard edges like before. And here's a better view of the trimming that we just did. It looks like a beveled glass design to me, which brings back some memories as my mom had a set with a design similar to that pattern. Here's one I created earlier with the added touch of impressed pedal tips in each triangle on the foot. Here it is all finished. Again, I just used a simple Amico Celadon. I love how the Celadon pools into all the crevices, leaving darker colors in the pattern. I hope this inspires you to start thinking about design in a whole new way and start thinking 3D. Thanks to the newest members of our Little Street Pottery Research Facility team. If you'd like to join the team and earn a title, click on the Super Thanks button or the link to buy me a coffee. In any case, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next time in the studio.